Today we're going to be looking at a few of the different products that we recommend out here at Bentley Ridge Tree Farm in regard to new plants being planted, as well as ongoing maintenance for plant material. One of the first products that we're going to be looking at is Mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a transplant fungus that we apply at the time of planting different plant material. This can be used on trees, shrubs, perennials, grasses. It can be used across the board. Here in Iowa, mycorrhiza is a very important thing to kind of consider using prior to planting, as it is a soil conditioner. It can help break down tough compacted soils. It helps with nutrient uptake. It's organic. It's a naturally occurring fungus that just creates a symbiotic relationship with roots. So mycorrhiza is just an overall very beneficial thing to use. This one though does have to be applied at time of planting. We will show a little graphic that kind of talks about where to apply mycorrhiza and the best instances where mycorrhiza is going to be the most useful. But mycorrhiza in general has to have root contact in order to be beneficial. So this is our version of mycorrhiza. There's several out there. All in all though, overall great product to use. Can be used on practically every different type of plant material that you'd be looking at planting. The next product that we're going to be looking at is a root stimulator. In this case, we use this specific root stimulator. It's a 4-10-3. Those numbers don't mean a ton to the overall planting success here. Examples of different fertilizers here with the breakdowns. This one, for example, in the Miracle-Gro being a 24-8-16. This one, Coast of Maine product here, 6-2-0. And then this one up top here, this triple superphosphate being a 0-45-0. What do those numbers mean? The first number is nitrogen. Nitrogen is a crucial nutrient for plant material for growth and chlorophyll. It's the main component in chlorophyll, so the green aspect of your plants or the greening and the growth side of the plants is all contained within that nitrogen. So looking at like this Miracle-Gro product, it's very heavy on the nitrogen side of it there. Miracle-Gro's big thing is that they promote big plants. And so that's a big component, the nitrogen aspect there. The next component that we're gonna look at is phosphorus. Phosphorus, I like using this one as an example, literally in the name, triple superphosphate, 0-45-0. This container kind of breaks it down perfectly as well. Phosphorus is huge with root development. It's huge with making sure the blooms are bigger and better. There's several products that are promoted as bloom boosters that are very heavy on the phosphorus side of things. Phosphorus can be applied by itself, or you'll find it in different groupings like this one, for example, that contains 2 phosphorus in it, or this one here that contains 8 phosphorus in it. And so these are different numbers that are associated with the different fertilizers, but phosphorus being one focused on root development and bloom time. Potassium is the last nutrient that we're going to look at here. Potassium is another essential nutrient when it comes to water uptake, photosynthesis, and ability for plants to tolerate stresses and deal with different diseases. So potassium, you may not find it in every individual fertilizer, but it is a very large one when you're looking at plant health and making sure that your plant is well cared for in the long term. Again, as we look at one of the products that I am promoting, Osmocote, it's a 15-9-12, so it's pretty evenly balanced between the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potassium. But as you see those 3 numbers occur on different fertilizers across the board, or anything that may contain those 3, that's just a quick rundown on what they are. A lot of what we want to focus on is making sure that the new roots from the new plant material have more than just water accompanying them throughout the time frame of the first year. We actually recommend root stimulator applications throughout the first and second year. Some people, like myself, like to start each spring with a root stimulator application on all of the plant material at my house just to get them a boost to get things started. This is a very easy product to apply. In the case of most of our trees, we apply it at a rate of 10 ounces to 5 gallons of water, and we do that once monthly throughout the growing season. So typically in Iowa, that's gonna look like April through November. There are occurrences where it might be earlier and also might be later. But yeah, that once monthly application just kind of gets those roots a little bit of the nutrients they need with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium there, as well as the actual stimulator for the roots themselves. The last product that we're going to be looking at today is a product called Osmocote. Osmocote comes in these really nice pink containers that you can see here. We sell it in much larger bags as well, 1 pound, 2 pound, 8 pound, up to a 50-pound bag. Osmocote is one that we apply at time of planting, but it's also one to consider using for ongoing care and maintenance throughout the life of your plant material. There are several different fertilizer options out there for what can be used, but one of the main reasons that we like Osmocote is it is a 15-9-12. So it does have a good mix of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium there, but it also has all the micronutrients in there. And this doesn't necessarily make or break plant material, but those micronutrients are nutrients that tend to get deprived in clay-heavy soils and other areas where they might need those extra micronutrients. So having a good concentration of micronutrients in your slow-release fertilizer can be very beneficial as well. That does bring up the next point of Osmocote, is that it is a slow-release fertilizer. In this case, it is a 6-month slow-release fertilizer. At my house, I tend to put Osmocote down in May 1st timeframe, and that covers me through pretty much the whole growing season. So it's a very easy product to utilize. It can be utilized in accordance with root stimulators and Mycorrhizal and other products as well. But all in all, this product is going to make sure that your plant is staying healthy. It's a multivitamin of sorts for your plant material. It can be used day one, it can be used 20 years down the road with the plant. You just kind of want to use the appropriate amount per season. These first few years, it's not much on the plant material, and then as they continue to get larger and bigger, you'll just continue to increase the amount of Osmocote that you put on that plant material each year. Again, we sell it in all sorts of different sizes. It's recommended pretty much across the board for all plant material. It can be beneficial for all plant material. It can even be used on indoor plants, house plants, and tropicals and things like that. And it's a 6-month slow release. So on indoor plants like that, you would maybe apply it twice a year, every 6 months to that plant material, just to make sure that it is getting all the nutrients that it needs. For outdoor plants, again, we use this every spring, put it on the plant material, and it lasts throughout the remainder of the season. Recapping on what we went over here today, these are 3 products that we typically recommend for planting. These don't mean that you get to skip watering or that there's other vital parts that play into the planting success. There's lots of things that will come into play. The soil conditions, the water, all sorts of different things that will kind of also attribute to the success or failure of a plant. However, with these 3 that we talked about, these are 3 that we have seen to be very beneficial. We've been very happy with the outcome of them. We've been very happy with the long-term success of things like Root and Grow and root stimulators and Osmocote, and those being used on a year-to-year basis. The other one with the Mycorrhizal there, just an amazing product right off the start to give your plants the best starting point that they could possibly achieve. So not 100% necessary by any means, just products that we've found to be very beneficial and love promoting to our customers. And we'll hope to see you soon. And the plants that we're kind of looking at here today, be different sizes and shapes and